2020 has just been ruthless so far. March alone felt like an entire year. One good thing that this lockdown though is doing is showing us how utterly out of touch celebrities are with regular people. Even a lot of our favorite celebrities have also been exposed, and sadly, Ellen is not immune to this. Don't get me wrong, Ellen DeGeneres is a very talented performer and has even received the Medal of Freedom, but because her show must appeal to a more family-friendly audience, she's forced to cover up a lot of her personal life. Welcome to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers, and if you're a movie nerd like me, you'll want to tap that subscribe button to never miss another video. Plus, make sure you stay all the way until the end because you won't believe our #1 spot. And it really helps with my watch time. Anyways, without any further delay, let's get right into our list of the top 10 secrets Ellen DeGeneres doesn't want you to know about. In at number 10, unconventional childhood. Growing up, Ellen didn't really have a typical upbringing because her parents full-on believed in Christian Science. They essentially used the word of the Bible as their guide to eternal life, which includes how they take care of people when they're sick. It was a system of belief that caused Ellen a lot of physical and emotional pain in her life. The worst part of her childhood was that her parents actually never took her to see a doctor, nor did they give her any medicine when she was feeling ill. Now, I'm sure most of her fans would accept Ellen's Christian Science past, but others may feel alienated by it, so she keeps it pretty under wraps. As a result of being raised in a Christian Science household, Ellen was never even vaccinated as a child. Another secret she doesn't want you to know about. In at number 9, she's a terrible boss. When the pandemic shut down the world, the wealthy among us had a moral choice to make. If you owned a business, do you then give from what you have to keep your employees paid? In Ellen's case, she had a tight-knit and dedicated crew that outlasted a writer's strike and still stuck by her afterwards. Yet when they needed her help, Ellen and her net worth of $400 million said nope. What's worse is that she hired a non-union crew instead to run her show from home. So you force them not to unionize and then turn around and show them exactly why they should have. The backlash comes after Variety reported that Ellen's staff were given no information and entirely left in the dark after filming for the show stopped in March. Oh, and then she said her mansion felt like jail.
One thing that I've learned from being in quarantine is that people, this is like being in jail.
By the way, that's a $27 million mansion. Feels like jail. In at number 8, not welcome in NYC. When the writer's strike kicked off in 2007, Ellen found herself in a strange situation. Because she also writes for the show, she's a fully paid member of the Writers Guild of America. So when the Writers Guild of America went on a strike that lasted from November 2007 to February 2008, she was forced with a tough decision. Does she support her fellow writers or cross the picket line and go to work? DeGeneres showed her support for the strike, but on November 9, 2007, 9 days into the strike, she revealed that she would be crossing the picket line. The strike is believed to have costed the Los Angeles entertainment industry over $1 billion in revenue. Following Ellen's decision, the show ran as usual, just without the opening monologue. Unfortunately for Ellen, the Writers Guild of America were furious. They even said that she was not welcome in New York City anymore. In at number 7, she has a mean streak. In Kathy Griffin's new book, Celebrity Run-Ins, My A to Z Index, she said, "I'm almost positive a certain beloved daytime talk show host once had me kicked out of a backstage dressing room at the Emmys Awards." She then goes on to say, "I can prove it, but this person who has short blonde hair has a mean streak that all of Hollywood knows about." And I don't think she's talking about James Corden. According to former employees of Ellen's show, this mean streak theory holds up. One insider said, "She's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. She's so nice to celebrities, but Ellen's demands that junior staffers don't speak to her, touch her, or even look at her." Turns out she's just rude to most people when the cameras are turned off. In at number 6, Ellen Not So Generous. In May of 2019, Ellen had country star Blake Shelton on the show and among other questions repeatedly brought up his relationship with Gwen Stefani. She then even gifted him with a large clock of the pair kissing that was supposed to encourage them to get married. The clock being a reminder that time is well ticking. Well, when he came back on the show in December of 2019, and other than him being embarrassed by again Ellen asking more questions about his personal relationship, we found out that he actually never received the clock. And Blake took full advantage of his time on the show to expose Ellen for not actually giving these gifts to her guests, but instead recycling them whenever she wanted. In at number 5, lies for good TV. When Dakota Johnson came on the show, we really got to see that Ellen is not afraid to lie if it makes for good television. First and foremost, she said happy belated birthday, then asked how it was because she didn't get an invite, which leads to Dakota calling her out on that lie. I just can't believe that on top of that, she also was rude to her the last time that she was on the show. Why would you want to come back after that? Now, either she's really forgetful or has lied so many times that she just can't keep track of it, because the next part of that interview was confusing, to say the least. She then insists that she was never invited and even turns to her producer to clarify that there was no invitation. Her producer then says, "You were invited, but you were out of town at that thing." And then the plot thickens because that thing is coming up next. In at number 4, fame over values. So not only did Ellen lie about not getting a birthday invitation to Dakota Johnson's party, but that thing that she was doing out of town was even tweeted by her. She says, "Yes, that was me at the Cowboys game with George Bush over the weekend." Ellen was then blasted on Twitter for hanging out with former Republican President George W. Bush. Bush was the president for 8 years and fought against gay marriage. He even wanted to make a constitutional amendment in 2004 that would define marriage as a union of a man and a woman. I believe Walker had the best take on this, though. He said, "Here's the thing, Ellen. George W. Bush is a war criminal who is responsible for death on a cataclysmic scale. It's not a matter of being friends with people with different beliefs. We all have those friends. It's about having a little perspective on the damage that he's done." Well said. In at number 3, publicity stunts. In a bizarre turn of events, in order to distract from the negative attention that attending a football game with a war criminal brings, Ellen just kissed Howard Stern. While on the show, Stern made note about how under fire she was over the George Bush photo. He then explains that he's on her side and that booking him was a great idea. Howard then suggests that if the pair were to kiss on television, it would switch the focus to them. The really hilarious part about all of this is just how open they are with it. Anyone with a brain can see that she's creating these publicity stunts to drum up controversy and get more name recognition. However, if you were to ask Ellen, she would never admit that it was all just a cover up to hide her mistakes. In at number 2, took money from school kids. In 1984, California voters approved the state lottery with an understanding that 34% of sales revenue would go towards education. However, in December, the company just gave Ellen a ton of scratch tickets to just give away to her audience. In fact, each audience member received a $500 bundle of scratchers tickets from the California state lottery. Now, of course, they both saw this as a publicity boom, but a whistleblower from inside the company is suggesting that it was a misuse of funds. The total face value for these tickets was just over $200,000, and by just giving away these lottery tickets on her show, Ellen and the lottery company should be held responsible for that loss. The weird thing is that they even mentioned how the revenue from the tickets goes towards education in Los Angeles. Then she just turns around and accepts the gift with no money exchanged to the charity. Last but certainly not least, in our number 1 spot, Portia moved out. There have always been rumors that Ellen and Portia's marriage wasn't actually going well, and speculation would rise every time Ellen was seen not wearing her wedding ring. Although once being locked down in quarantine with each other and Ellen coming under attack recently for so many things, Portia has officially moved out. Instead of living in the home that they purchased together in LA when they got married, an insider source said that Portia has been living in Montesino Heights for weeks. The source went on to say Ellen tries to appease her by giving her whatever she wants, like her art company and buying any home Portia falls in love with. However, some time apart will do them good. They love each other so much, so I don't think they're about to give up on their marriage just yet. And that has been the top 10 secrets Ellen DeGeneres doesn't want you to know about. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to our editors for making me look so good. If you enjoyed this video, show us some love here by tapping that like and subscribe button. Plus, don't forget to leave us a comment down below with your thoughts on this list. And for more videos like this one, all you gotta do is tap that playlist when it pops up on your screen. From Top 10 Beyond the Screen, my name is Johnny Rogers, saying until next time, stay classy. Anyways, without any further delay, let's get right into today's list of the top 10 secrets Ellen DeGeneres? You degenerates? Going from anyways. Anyways, without any further delay, let's get right into our list of the top 10 secrets Ellen DeGeneres. Why can't I say her name? Ellen DeGeneres? DeGeneres. Oh, there we go. The wealthy among us had a moral choice to make. If you owned a business, do you then give... Okay. Here we go. It's gonna be good. If you owned a business, do you then get... It's gonna be good, then fall on my face immediately. Take number 3. So not only did Ellen lie about not getting a birthday invitation from Dakota Johnson? I'm Dakota Johnson. Oh, God.